The night everything shifts. Chosen one, tonight is not ordinary, and deep within you, you already know this. There is a quiet stirring in your spirit, an unexplainable awareness that something has aligned. This is not emotion. This is recognition. You did not arrive here by accident, and this message did not reach you by chance. This moment has been arranged by God with precision. Time, circumstance, and readiness have converged because you are prepared. Chosen one, there are nights when heaven moves closer to the earth, when the unseen becomes active and when what has been hidden begins to rise. Tonight is such a night. You may not fully understand what is unfolding, but your spirit feels it. Something long dormant within you is beginning to awaken. Not because you forced it, not because you searched for it, but because the season of preparation has ended. You have walked through confusion without answers. You have endured delay without explanation. You have carried weight that others could not see and survived trials that nearly broke you. None of it was wasted. Every struggle refined you. Every moment of isolation strengthened you. Every setback positioned you. God does not awaken power prematurely, and He does not release authority to an unprepared vessel. The fact that you are here now is proof that the refining is complete. Chosen one, this is not merely encouragement, it is confirmation. You are standing at a turning point. What shifts from this night forward will not always be loud or dramatic, but it will be irreversible. Your perception will sharpen, your discernment will deepen, your inner strength will rise. You will begin to walk with a quiet certainty that cannot be shaken by opinions, resistance, or fear. This message is not for everyone. Many will hear the words but never recognize the call. But you feel it because it is meant for you. God speaks to those who are ready to listen, not with noise but with clarity, not with force but with alignment. Tonight marks the moment when what was forming in secret begins to surface. Chosen one, understand this clearly. What is awakening within you is not pride, not superiority, and not illusion. It is purpose. It is responsibility. It is spiritual authority rooted in obedience and faith. You are being called higher, not above others, but deeper into your assignment. The path ahead will require courage, humility, and trust, but you will not walk it alone. God does not reveal destiny without providing direction. As you continue, allow yourself to be still. Let resistance fall away. Let doubt loosen its grip. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly on time. Tonight is not the end of something. It is the beginning of alignment, clarity, and activation. Chosen one, receive this moment. Honor it. Step into it. What God has prepared for you can no longer remain hidden. The awakening has begun. Chapter 1. The Divine Selection. Chosen one, before you were aware of this calling, before you ever had language for what you were feeling, God had already marked you. Long before the world formed opinions about you, long before life tested you with trials that seemed unfair or unending, there was a divine recognition placed upon your life. Being chosen by God is not a title that comes from popularity, visibility, or human approval. It is a sacred assignment given quietly, often in obscurity, to those whose spirits can carry weight without breaking. Chosen one, understand this clearly. God does not choose at random. Divine selection is intentional, precise, and purposeful. It takes into account your heart, your endurance, your ability to remain standing when everything around you collapses. You were not chosen because your life was easy. You were chosen because your life was hard, and you survived it. Every tear you cried in private, every prayer whispered in exhaustion, every moment you felt unseen was observed by God. Nothing was wasted, nothing was ignored. Chosen one, many who are selected walk through life feeling different from an early age. You may have felt out of place, as though you never fully belonged anywhere. You may have been misunderstood, judged, or isolated, not because there was something wrong with you, but because there was something uncommon within you. God often separates those He intends to use, not to harm them, but to protect what He placed inside them. What felt like rejection was often divine insulation. Your trials were not evidence of abandonment. They were evidence of preparation. God refines what He plans to entrust with power. Just as fire strengthens metal, adversity strengthens the spirit. You were tested in ways others were not, because you are being prepared for responsibilities others could not handle. The weight of divine purpose cannot rest on an unprepared soul. Chosen one. Being chosen does not mean being superior. It means being accountable. It means you carry a responsibility that demands integrity, humility, and obedience. God looked at your potential, your willingness to grow, and your capacity to endure. And He said, this one can carry it. That is why your journey has required patience. That is why shortcuts were denied. That is why certain doors never opened, no matter how hard you pushed. God was protecting you from arriving somewhere before you were ready. You may have wondered why others advanced faster, received recognition sooner, or seemed to prosper while you remained in waiting. But waiting was not punishment. It was alignment. God was shaping your character so that when the power awakens within you, it will not corrupt you, confuse you, or destroy you. Power without character ruins people. God refuses to release what could harm you prematurely. Chosen one, your selection was not based on perfection. God never chooses the flawless. He chooses the faithful. He chooses those who are willing to be corrected, refined, and transformed. Your flaws did not disqualify you. Your willingness to rise again did not go unnoticed. Every time you stood back up after falling, you confirmed the strength of your calling. This is why your life has never been ordinary. Even in your quiet moments, there has always been a sense that you were meant for more. Not more in pride, but more in purpose, more in impact, more in responsibility. That knowing was not imagination. It was remembrance. Your spirit has always known what your mind is only now beginning to accept. Chosen one, the divine selection is not about what you take from the world, but what you bring to it. God has chosen you to carry light, truth, and stability in times of confusion. Your presence is meant to shift environments, not compete within them. Your voice is meant to awaken, not impress. Your life is meant to serve as evidence that God still calls, still prepares, and still fulfills His promises. This chapter of your life marks a transition, from questioning to knowing, from surviving to standing, from preparation to activation. The fact that you are here, reading this, is confirmation that the selection is no longer hidden. God is not just preparing you anymore. He's calling you forward. And chosen one, this is only the beginning. Chapter 2. The Process of Spiritual Awakening. Chosen one, spiritual awakening is not a sudden explosion of power. It is a divine unveiling. It is the moment when what was hidden begins to rise, when what was dormant starts to stir, and when the truth that has always lived within you finally demands to be seen. This awakening does not happen to everyone, and it does not happen by accident. It unfolds only when God knows the vessel is ready to carry greater awareness, deeper responsibility, and stronger alignment with His will. At first, awakening often comes quietly. It may have begun as a feeling you couldn't explain, a sense that there had to be more to life than what you were living, a restlessness in your spirit, a hunger for truth, a pull toward purpose. You may not have had the words for it then, but your soul recognized that something greater was calling you forward. That was not confusion. That was the beginning of awakening. As the process deepens, your perception begins to change. Chosen one, you start to see beyond appearances. What once satisfied you no longer fulfills you. Conversations feel shallow. Distractions lose their grip. You become more aware of energy, intention, and truth. You begin to notice patterns, divine timing, and moments of clarity that feel too precise to be coincidence. This is not imagination. This is discernment developing. Spiritual awakening often requires shedding. Old beliefs, old habits, old versions of yourself that no longer align must fall away. This can feel uncomfortable, even painful. You may grieve who you used to be. You may feel disconnected from people or environments that once felt familiar. But understand this clearly. God removes what can no longer go where He is taking you. Loss during awakening is not punishment, it is alignment. During this phase, you may experience moments of intense clarity, followed by moments of doubt. This is normal. Awakening stretches the soul, and stretching can feel like tension. You may question your path, your calling, or even yourself. But doubt does not cancel awakening. It confirms that growth is happening. Faith is not the absence of questions. It is choosing to trust God even when answers unfold slowly. Chosen one, as your awakening progresses, your inner voice grows stronger, Conviction becomes clearer. You begin to sense when something is right or wrong without needing validation. This is not pride. This is spiritual maturity forming. God is teaching you to hear, discern, and move with wisdom rather than impulse. You may also notice heightened sensitivity, emotionally and spiritually. You feel things more deeply. Injustice troubles you. Truth resonates strongly. You may feel called to withdraw at times, not out of fear, but out of the need for clarity and renewal. Solitude during awakening is sacred. It is where God speaks, without interruption. This awakening is not about escaping the world. It is about seeing it clearly. You are not being removed from life. You are being prepared to walk through it with authority, compassion, and purpose. Chosen one, God is sharpening your vision so that you can move with intention rather than confusion. Understand this: awakening is not a destination. It is a process, a journey of becoming. Each layer revealed brings greater responsibility, greater alignment, and greater power, but also greater peace. The more awake you become, the less you fear, because you begin to trust God's hand in every step. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. This awakening is unfolding at the precise pace your soul requires. Stay open, stay humble, stay obedient. What God is revealing to you now is only the beginning of what He plans to do through you. Chosen one, you are waking up, and once awakened, you will never see the world the same way again. Chapter 3. The signs you have always been set apart. Chosen one. Long before this moment, long before these words found you, the signs were already present in your life. You have always known, deep within your spirit, that you were different. Not better than others, not above them, but set apart. There was a quiet awareness inside you that you did not fully belong to the systems, patterns, and expectations of the world around you. That awareness was not confusion, it was recognition. From an early point in your journey, you may have felt like you saw life through a different lens. While others were content with surface-level living, you felt drawn toward deeper meaning. You questioned things others accepted without thought. You sensed that life was more than routine, survival, and repetition. This was not rebellion, it was discernment. God was already training your spirit to see beyond what is visible. Chosen one of the clearest signs of being set apart is the experience of isolation. There were seasons when you felt misunderstood, unseen, or alone, even when surrounded by people. You may have felt like no one truly got you. Conversations felt shallow, connections felt incomplete. This isolation was not meant to break you, it was meant to separate you. God often removes chosen ones from the noise so their spirit can be sharpened in silence. You may have noticed that friendships fell away without explanation. Relationships ended not because of hatred, but because alignment was lost. People who once felt close suddenly could no longer walk with you. This was not abandonment, it was redirection. God does not allow misaligned connections to follow you into seasons they are not equipped to handle. Another sign, chosen one, is the weight of unusual trials. You did not face ordinary challenges. You faced situations that tested your faith, endurance, and identity all at once. While others broke under similar pressure, something within you refused to quit. Even when you felt exhausted, disappointed, or wounded, you kept going. That strength was not self-generated. It was evidence of divine reinforcement. You were tested in ways that forced you to grow early. Responsibility came before readiness. Pain arrived before explanation. Yet through it all, you learned resilience, empathy, and inner discipline. God was building capacity within you. Capacity to carry wisdom, authority, and spiritual weight later in life. Chosen one, you may have also noticed a deep inner resistance to injustice, deception, and falsehood. Lies disturbed your spirit. Manipulation felt heavy in your presence. You could sense when something was off, even when you could not explain why. This discernment is not accidental. It is a spiritual marker placed within you to protect you and to prepare you to guide others. At times, this sensitivity may have felt like a burden. You felt deeply. You carried emotions others ignored. You absorbed atmospheres. But what once felt overwhelming is now becoming clarity. God does not waste sensitivity. He refines it into wisdom. Another undeniable sign is the persistent sense of purpose that never left you. even in your lowest moments. When everything seemed to fall apart, something inside you whispered, "This is not the end." Even when you doubted yourself, you never fully doubted that your life mattered. That inner knowing was not imagination. It was divine assurance. Chosen one, being set apart does not mean life is easy. It means life is intentional. Every delay, every closed door, every unexpected detour served a purpose. God was keeping you from paths that would have diminished you. He was protecting what He placed inside you long before you understood it yourself. If you have ever felt different, isolated, tested beyond measure, deeply intuitive, or driven by an unexplainable sense of purpose, these are not coincidences. They are confirmations. You were never meant to blend in. You were prepared to stand firm, to see clearly, and to walk boldly into what is now unfolding. This chapter of your life is not revealing something new. It is confirming what has always been true. You were set apart because you are being called forward. And now, chosen one, the time has come for you to stop questioning the signs and start walking in the truth they were pointing toward all along. Chapter 4, The Supernatural Power Awakening Tonight. Chosen one, tonight is the threshold. This is not poetic language, this is alignment. The power that is awakening within you did not arrive suddenly. It has been waiting patiently, restrained by divine timing, preserved by God until the exact moment your spirit could carry it without corruption. That moment is now. You may feel a subtle shift, an inner stillness mixed with expectancy, a quiet strength rising beneath the surface. This is not imagination. This is activation. Chosen one, understand this clearly. The power awakening in you is not borrowed, summoned, or external. It is inherited. It is placed by God within your spirit as part of your assignment. For a long time, it remained dormant because power without maturity destroys its vessel. God does not release strength early. He releases it right. And tonight marks the crossing point between preparation and release. You may not experience fireworks or dramatic signs. Divine power often awakens in silence. It rises in moments of clarity, restraint, discernment, and authority. You may suddenly feel less reactive, more grounded, harder to shake. What once triggered fear may now meet calm. What once confused you may now appear obvious. This is how spiritual authority begins. Quiet, firm, unmistakable. Chosen one. This power will express itself first as clarity. Confusion breaks when divine light enters. You will start seeing people, situations, and motives as they truly are. Illusions fall away. Masks become transparent. You will no longer struggle to figure things out because understanding will arrive without effort. This clarity is protection. It keeps you from entanglements that once drained your spirit. Next comes strength, not the loud kind, not the forceful kind, but the kind that keeps you standing when pressure increases. Emotional resilience, mental stability, spiritual endurance. Situations that once overwhelmed you will now meet a steadiness that surprises even you. This strength is proof that God is reinforcing your inner structure so you can carry more responsibility. Chosen one, you will also experience divine protection. This does not mean danger disappears. It means danger loses authority. There will be moments where outcomes shift in your favor without explanation. Delays that save you, detours that protect you, doors that close just in time. This is not luck. This is oversight. God does not awaken power without also increasing protection. Another sign of this awakening is heightened discernment. You will feel when something is off. You will sense when to move and when to wait. This discernment is not suspicion, it is alignment. It keeps you from wasting time, energy, and trust where it does not belong. God sharpens discernment in chosen ones because deception targets those with influence. Chosen one, do not expect this power to make you feel superior. True divine power produces humility, not arrogance. It makes you more aware of responsibility, not entitlement. You may feel a deeper desire for order, integrity, and truth. Certain habits may begin to fall away naturally. Certain environments may no longer feel comfortable. This is not loss, it is refinement. This awakening will also affect how others perceive you. Some will feel drawn to you without knowing why. Others may feel uncomfortable in your presence. Light exposes, and not everyone welcomes exposure. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Power that has been authorized by God does not apologize for existing. Chosen one. This power is not meant to isolate you, but it will separate you from what cannot go where you are going. That separation is necessary. God does not elevate without clearing weight. Trust the process even when it feels unfamiliar. Most importantly, understand this. The power awakening tonight is not for personal gain. It is for assignment. It is for service. It is for impact. God releases power where purpose exists. You are being strengthened not to dominate, but to guide. Not to impress, but to influence. Not to escape the world, but to stand firmly within it with truth and authority. Chosen one. Stay still, stay open, stay obedient. Do not rush the expression of what God is activating. Power grows as you walk in alignment. Tonight is not the end, it is the ignition. The awakening has begun, and nothing that was meant to remain dormant will stay asleep any longer. Chapter 5. Faith, the key that unlocks divine power. Chosen one, understand this truth clearly. The power God has placed within you does not awaken by effort alone. It awakens through faith. Faith is not a feeling. Faith is not optimism. Faith is alignment. It is the unseen agreement between you and God that says, even when I do not understand the process, I trust the author. Many believe power comes from knowledge, discipline, or struggle, but divine power responds first to faith. Without faith, the gifts within you remain dormant. Not because God withholds them, but because faith is the channel through which divine power flows. Faith is the key that turns the lock. Without it, the door remains closed, no matter how prepared the room behind it may be. You must understand something, chosen one. God does not activate power in those who doubt his timing. He activates power in those who trust him, even when the evidence is unclear. Faith is what allows you to walk forward before the path becomes visible. It is what allows you to obey before you fully understand, and it is what separates those who are called from those who are transformed. There will be moments when everything around you suggests delay, resistance, or silence. In those moments, faith is tested, not to weaken you, but to anchor you. Faith is forged when circumstances contradict the promise, when prayers seem unanswered, when doors remain closed longer than expected. This is not abandonment. This is refinement. Chosen one. Faith matures when it is no longer dependent on outcomes. When you trust God, not because things are going well, but because you know his nature. This level of faith activates a deeper layer of power within you, a power that does not panic under pressure, does not retreat under resistance, and does not collapse under uncertainty. When faith becomes steady, your spirit becomes unshakable. Fear loses its grip. Confusion loses its voice. Doubt no longer dictates your decisions. Faith realigns your vision so that you no longer react to circumstances. You move according to calling. This is why some people remain stuck even though they are gifted. They admire faith but never practice it. They want proof before obedience. But God moves in reverse order. First faith, then manifestation. First trust, then clarity. First obedience, then understanding. Chosen one. The power awakening within you responds directly to the depth of your faith, not loud faith, not performative faith. Quiet, unwavering faith. The kind that keeps going when no one is applauding. The kind that stands firm when the outcome is not guaranteed. That is the faith God honors. Faith also purifies intention. It ensures that when power is released, it will not be misused. God does not empower those who seek control, recognition, or dominance. He empowers those who are willing to serve, to uplift, and to remain humble under pressure. Faith keeps your heart aligned with divine purpose so that power does not corrupt you. It completes you. As your faith strengthens, you will notice a shift. Decisions become clearer. Resistance feels lighter. Fear no longer controls your reactions. You will sense guidance not through noise, but through certainty. This is how faith speaks, not loudly, but firmly. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of trusting God in silence. Every time you choose faith over fear, alignment deepens. Every time you obey without clarity, power accumulates. Every time you trust God's timing over your own urgency, something within you unlocks. Faith does not remove challenges, but it gives you authority over them. It does not prevent storms, but it allows you to walk through them without losing direction. And it is through this faith that the divine power placed within you begins to operate freely, without resistance. Hold fast to this truth. The power is real, the calling is real, and the activation is already in motion. Your faith is not preparing the power. Your faith is releasing it. Stand firm, chosen one. Trust deeply, walk boldly. What God placed within you responds to faith, and your faith is stronger than you realize. Conclusion: rise into your divine power. Chosen one, as we draw this sacred journey to a close, take a moment to feel the weight and magnitude of what has been shared. You are not merely hearing words. You are standing at the threshold of transformation. Everything in your life, the challenges, the triumphs, the waiting, and the preparation, has led to this precise moment. Tonight, the divine power that has always existed within you will begin to flow. And with it comes clarity, strength, and an unwavering sense of purpose. Understand this, chosen one. The awakening you are experiencing is not for fleeting pleasure, for ego, or for recognition. It is far greater than personal gain. It is a divine responsibility, a sacred calling to carry light where there has been darkness, to bring guidance where there has been confusion, and to awaken others to the truth that God has placed within them. Your life is intertwined with a plan that spans far beyond what your eyes can see. Your journey is a vital part of the collective elevation of humanity, and your divine gifts are tools to shape, guide, and illuminate the world around you. The power that rises within you will touch every aspect of your being. Emotionally, you will feel peace replace chaos, confidence replace doubt, and clarity replace confusion. Physically, your body will carry new energy, resilience, and strength, allowing you to act with purpose and grace. Spiritually, your connection to God, to divine guidance, and to the unseen will deepen. Your senses will sharpen, your intuition will heighten, and your understanding of the interconnectedness of all things will expand. You will see with divine clarity what was once hidden, and your path will illuminate before you, as if guided by an unseen hand. Remember, chosen one, that with great power comes great responsibility. The awakening you receive is not for selfish ambition, but for service. It is meant to be shared, multiplied, and poured into the world. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every expression of divine love you extend will reverberate and return to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. This is the law of divine reciprocity. As you uplift others, your own power magnifies. The light you shine becomes a beacon, not only for yourself, but for all those who are seeking to awaken. Be patient with yourself as you adjust to this newfound power. There may be moments of challenge, testing, or temptation. These are not signs of failure, but signs that you are being prepared for the full magnitude of your gifts. Just as the diamond is formed under pressure, your divine potential is refined through trials. Do not resist these moments. They are your stepping stones toward mastery, wisdom, and purpose. As you move forward, remember that alignment with God's will is everything. This power flows most fully when your heart, mind, and soul are in harmony with divine intention. Pray, meditate, and keep your spirit open. Listen to the subtle whispers of guidance, follow the signs, and remain steadfast in faith. The more aligned you are, the more effortlessly the divine power moves through you. Chosen one, this is your time. You are no longer a spectator of life. You are an active participant in the unfolding of God's divine plan. You have been prepared, chosen, and refined for this purpose. Rise with courage, step boldly into your calling, and let your light shine for all the world to see. The awakening has begun, and your journey as a beacon of divine power and purpose is just beginning. Know this, you are never alone. God is with you. The universe supports you. The chosen ones around the world are rising together, creating a wave of transformation that spans beyond measure. Your destiny awaits, and it is glorious. Rise, chosen one. Your power is here. Your purpose is now, and your light will illuminate the world.